people, welcome back to my channel once again. So today I'm going to be sharing my trade recap on gold, as usual, how we do it every week. So today I'm going to be starting my trade recap from September 8th 2025 to 12th September 2025. That's 5 trading days. So I'm going to be starting from this particular point here, this particular trade here. So without further ado, let's move straight into the trade recap. So now for this particular trade, let's analyze how we catch this trade. So as of the previous week, the NFP for Friday, this was the NFP for Friday that we caught, that we rallied straight down to the last call. So now after that, we had a closure of the week and the opening of the week on the 5 minutes time frame. If we go to the 5 minutes time frame, we are going to see a new week opening gap. So that new week opening gap would not show on the 1 hour time frame because of the higher time frame that we have. But I want to show how I actually catch this particular trade, because I caught it on the higher time frame and I used fib level to catch this trade. So how did I catch this trade? First and foremost, what I did was that let me delete this fib level, then we draw a new fib level. Let me delete these TPs too, so that everything is clear. So now if we look at, we will know that this is our swing low and this is our swing high here. So what am I doing? I will get my fib level, mark from the top of this particular swing high to the bottom of this swing low, and what I was expecting was the mitigation of this 0.618 level. This mitigation of this 0.618 level. So after I saw this particular level, what I did was that I went back to the 5 minutes time frame. I went back to the 5 minutes time frame to look at how the trade was going to be set up. So when I came to the 5 minutes time frame, what I saw that gave me nice confluence was, as you all know, I trade both SMC and MSNR. So if you are trading SMC and you're trading MSNR together, there are some things that you would know that there are key things that you must always look at. The first thing I look at is my liquidity, because I don't joke with liquidity. There is no way I'm going to enter any market without liquidity. The moment I saw this particular liquidity, engineered liquidity, I knew that this particular OCL was going to hold. If you notice, let me take out this fib level. If you notice here, this is an OCL, open and close candle, and that was what happened. The moment the market came, it mitigated the OCL and started going straight as bullish, because I knew that very day we are still bullish on gold. So that was what happened. On the 5 minutes time frame, I used both OCL and liquidity plus fib level to catch this particular trade, and that was what happened. Can you see the 0.618 level is lying on the OCL? That is what they call confluence. You need to make sure that you have several confluence or several reasons to enter a trade. You don't just look for one confluence and you say that this is the only confluence I'm using to enter this particular trade. And if you notice, why I choose this particular OCL and not choose this resistance was because this OCL was closest to liquidity. That was why I chose this particular OCL, and that was what happened. Immediately the market came, cleared out this liquidity and also tapped into our OCL, and it started giving us immediate 5:1 RR. And that was the trade that we took on Monday. This was the only trade we took on Monday. We entered this trade at around 5 a.m. Can you see the manipulation? 5 a.m. I didn't mean I waited till London open. London open would have been around this particular junction here. Can you see? The market has already moved already. London Open would have been at this particular junction, and where would you be trying to catch any trade? So if you notice gold recently, you will know that a lot of manipulations happens before London Open. So that was how I caught this 5:1 RR on Monday, and after it broke this particular level, I didn't mean I saw another retest of this level, or maybe retest of this particular support here on the 5 minutes time frame, I would have entered another trade to take it to the next psychological level. But I didn't see any reason to enter another trade, and that was how I left that particular day to run. So this was the only trade we caught on Monday. So going to Tuesday. On Tuesday, I was on the 1 hour time frame at this point. I was on the 1 hour time frame. Now let's go back to the 1 hour time frame. Let's see what happened here and why did we get stopped out before the market moved. It's very funny. Very, very funny. Okay, so on the 1 hour time frame, what I saw was this particular order block. I knew that this order block was going to fail. This particular order block here. I like using confluences. I knew that this particular order block was going to fail, and I knew that this particular level was going to be tested. What did I do? I went back to the 5 minutes time to 15 minutes time frame. Sorry, not 5 minutes time frame. To the 15 minutes time frame. This was what happened. So after I came back to the 15 minutes time frame, don't forget that this particular table that I drew was for the order block on the 1 hour time frame. So immediately the market came, tapped into the order block. It gave us reaction. We had another clear order block here with liquidity. Can you see? So what I was looking at was the clear of this particular order block body candle lying on my psychological level together with this liquidity here. That was what I was looking at, and the market came, tapped into that order block, tapped into our psychological area, and I was in the trade already. But what did the market do? The market came, made sure it took me out first before it started failing this particular order block. And as anticipated, the market went straight to TP after taking me out. So that was what happened on Tuesday, and this manipulation happened at around 11:30 a.m. and that was how I took only one trade on Tuesday. The moment I lost this trade, I knew that the market condition was not good for me to be in. So I left that remaining trades. I didn't take any trade on Tuesday again. I waited till Wednesday. Even on Wednesday, I took some scalp, but on Wednesday I didn't trade on Wednesday. I waited for Thursday. This particular Tuesday trade that I lost, on Wednesday I didn't see any clear setup. But on Thursday, this was what happened. Clear resistance, and this was Asian session trade. Now, if you know my confluence, double engulfing, this is a resistance for me. And also this particular psychological level. Can you see? This is my reaction zone. This is my reaction level. The moment I saw this, I knew that the market was going to come to mitigate this resistance. And the moment the market came, tapped into that resistance and started coming down immediately. And that very day, I got into this trade at around 2 a.m. Yes. And immediately the market gave us immediate 6:1 RR. And I cut out of this trade at around 7 a.m. That was the Asian session trade. I always tell people, I've noticed that Asian session now respects resistance and support support most of the time. The manipulation most of the time happens around Asian session. So after all of these trades, what I saw again on the 15 minutes time frame was a clear order block. Can you see? This was a clear order block. I'll also call it a resistance, and this was my liquidity around that. Can you see what happened? This was my liquidity. Immediately the market came, tapped into this particular resistance and started giving us immediate 5:1 RR. Now this particular market, we got into this market at around 1:30 p.m. That is New York session. So that is how on Thursday I caught a 6:1 RR and a 5:1 RR. So that is it for that. Going to Friday. On Friday, the market condition was not also good for me, but I managed to catch a resistance on this particular trade. I think on the 5 minutes time frame. It's supposed it is on the 15 minutes time frame. Sorry, 15 minutes time frame. So on the 15 minutes time frame, what happened at this particular junction here? As you can see here, we have a nice resistance here also. This is a resistance, and this is also, I'll call this a liquidity because it did not tap into the body candle. And if you notice, the body candle is very small, so I would be using the body candle, and that was what happened. I drew my resistance, and when the market came, it tapped into this resistance and started giving us immediate 6:1 RR. Now, why did I get out of this particular trade here? Why did I get out here? Because I saw this particular support here. This is a support for me, and that was why I left the trade at this point. That was my target, and immediately the market came into this support. Can you see? Immediately it started reversing, and that was it for this particular week that we actually passed. And this particular week, I think we caught some nice trades. This 1, 2, I want to count my trades for this week. 1, 2, 3 trades, 3 TPs, 3 TPs, 4 TPs. So I caught 5 trades. I lost 1 and I won 4. So that is it for that on this particular week. And thanks for watching my trade recap, guys. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out.